ॐ नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भाम् नित्यानन्देश्वरि पराशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus from all over the world. I welcome all the Sarvanyapita Kartas, Yajamans, Manifestors, Sarvaparityagis, Shrimahans, Mahans, Kotari, Tanidar, visitors, viewers, Kayakalpa Yoga participants, Kailasas, ministers, ambassadors, diplomats, consulate generals, and citizens and supporters. Paramashiva Ganas, Paramashivoham, Season 10 participants. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. First, let's worship Ganapati on this Ganesha Chaturthi Brahmotsavam, then enter into the satsang.
Nityanandam, on the auspicious 6th day of the Ganesha Chaturthi Brahmotsavam, today, Sri Maha Ganapati Ananda Ganesha is gracing in Sarvalankara with 8 hands and 8 ayudhas seated upon the Swarna Gajavahanam, having done the Gajamukhasuravadha on this auspicious day of 6th day of Ganesha Chaturthi Brahmotsavam. We now offer our worship at the feet of Sri Maha Ganapati Ananda Ganesha and Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji. Suvarna Danda Mandita Prachanda Charu Chamaram Griha Preeti Sundaram Yugakshanam Pramoditam Kavindra Chittaranjakam Mahavipatti Bhanjakam Shadaksharaswarupinam Bhujanga Deva Rupinam. Om Dhurati Dhurvadhurvantam Dhurvatayo Osman Dhurvatitam Dhurvayam Vayam Dhurvamatvam Devanamatitaslitamam Papritamam Juhtatamam Vanhitamam Devahutamam Ahritamasi Havirdhanandrigam Bhasvam Ahva Armitrasyatva Chakhusha Kshema Bherma Samvikha Matva Hikam Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha Ananda Ganeshaya Namaha Dhupamagrapayami. Om Uddipyasvajata Vedo Pagnan Nirritim Mama Pashukishchamakyamavah Jeevanan Chadisho Disha Manohigamsi Jata Vedo Kamashvam Purushan Jagate Abhibhradagna Agahi Shriyama Paripataya. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha Ananda Ganeshaya Namaha. Ekaharati Deepam Sandarshayami. Om Madhuvatartayate Madhuksharanti Sindhavaha Madhvirna Santoshadhihi Madhunaktamutoshasi Madhumatparthivagam Rajaha Madhudyaurastuna Pita Madhumanno Vanaspatir Madhumagam Astu Suryaha Madhvirgavo Bhavantunaha Madhu Madhu Madhu. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha Ananda Ganeshaya Namaha. Nana Vidhani Naivedyani Nivedayami. Om Sarvasyaptyai Sarvasya Jityai Sarvameva Tena Apnoti Sarvam Jayati. Om Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Om Tatpurushaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. ओम श्री महागणपते नमः आनंद गणेशाय नमः सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः सर्वोपचार पूजार्थे सर्वापराध क्षमापनार्थे समस्त मंगल प्राप्त्यर्थे आनंद कर्पूर नीराजनं संदर्शयामि गजाननं भूतगणाधिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बू फलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम्
Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Jeevan Mukti, living enlightenment, is establishing your confidence and declaring your conscious integrity and manifesting your conscious intention, Satya Sankalpa, on cosmic principles. I'll repeat. Living enlightenment, Jeevan Mukti, is establishing your confidence, declaring your conscious integrity, manifesting your conscious will, Satya Sankalpa, on the cosmic principles. I wanted to bring this one truth to all your attention. In Hindu tradition, knowledge is sacred. We never try to suppress, oppress, dampen the authority of the knowledge using the concept of sacred. The concept of sacred is used only to strengthen your intensity of seeking, your intention to gain more and more knowledge. ATATO Brahma JIJNASAT. Let us inquire into the ultimate reality existence. Knowledge is sacred. Vidya is DIVYA. We never used the principle called sacred to suppress, oppress exploration of knowledge. That is the beauty of the Vedic tradition. That is why we are so open for upgrading, amending, evolving ourselves. It's a living civilization. It was, it is, it will be. Sa vidya ya vimuktaye. That is why Vidya is given the form of woman in Hindu tradition, because the woman of the house, her decisions, her will persistence makes the whole family flow in the direction of enlightenment. I tell you, I have seen how silently, passively, non-aggressive way, with tremendous will, persistence and patience, my own mother led the whole family towards the direction of enlightenment, just because she is from that heritage. I don't think she even consciously planned. Just because she inherited the heritage, by keeping that heritage alive very passively. I tell you, I have never seen my mother shouting or fighting, screaming with my grandmother, means her mother-in-law, or my father, her husband, or anybody in the family. Please understand. I won't say she did not have difficulties of middle class or lower middle class Hindu family in Indian village. She had all the difficulty, but she always kept the whole thing together, drove the whole thing in the direction of Jivan Mukti, just because this is what she learnt from the elders, the ecosystems inspiration. See, till you are 25, ecosystem will inspire you. After you cross 25, you should become the strength for the ecosystem. That is the life. You can't go on expect that ecosystem should treat you cutely and that should support you and be a strength for you. No. Initially, it's okay. First 25 years. And in the modern day, I'll tell you, you are far more mentally, psychologically, informatively matured than Hindu village kid. So you don't need 25 years. I think by the time you are 18, or I'll say even the modern day 16, you claim so much of freedom and power and authority due to the society structure, but you don't take the responsibility. I want to tell you, all Hindu kids claiming too much of freedom and throwing tantrum without taking the responsibility, you are destroying Hinduism and living enlightenment tradition. By 16 to 18, all Hindu kids should start supporting the ecosystem of enlightenment. You can't be anymore just sucking the ecosystem, be the load on the ecosystem through all your tantrums and expecting you to be treated very cute. No. The moment you cross 18, you should become ferocious with yourself and learn to be the support for the ecosystem. I tell you, dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. When you support dharma, dharma supports you. When you protect dharma, dharma protects you. I'll tell you this principle which I am talking now is the economic policy, strategy, principle of Hinduism. Listen, the Hindu society, civilization, is focused on Jivan Mukti, enlightenment, moksha. Whether it follows the Shaiva tradition, Ganapatya tradition, or Sakta tradition, or Saura tradition, or Gaumara tradition, or Guru worship, Sampradayas, or Vaishnava Sampradayas, any Sampradaya. Basically, the ecosystem, a civilization, Samasthana, is focused on enlightenment. And people who keep this knowledge of enlightenment and teach, they are paid. Sponsored, multi-level, paid regularly, and sponsored for specific events and supported through grants and donations. And the people who maintain the social integrity by providing protection from the external destructive forces, invading forces, or internally revolting forces. Kshatriyas, they are paid and given awards and rewards. Listen, step by step, I am explaining. The knowledge keepers who keep the integrity and efficacy of the knowledge, Brahmanas, who give protection from external invasions and internal revolts and keep the living enlightenment, Jivan Mukti lifestyle. Kshatriyas, those people are given, they are paid and given rewards and awards when they demonstrate the valor, protecting the Dharma. And same next, Vaishyas, they are supported, encouraged, given protection, supported with the knowledge, encouraged with the infrastructure and market. Protected, given protection for their wealth, for all these services provided by the state to the Vaishyas. In turn, Vaishyas pay the tax to the state. And Shudras are empowered with the land and all the equipments needed to grow grains or everything else needed for the sustenance of the life. In turn, paid, supported with all their needs. It's an amazing, unique, very organized, legitimate civilization. I tell you, the pre-Bronzean age civilization, the only civilization still alive. Of course, in a very critical stage, beaten, broken, lost even confidence on themselves and their principles, their ancestors, constantly being told that your ancestors are stupid and your ancestors are useless. See, once you take someone's confidence about their heritage and past, he does not have any more future. Because he will not try to replicate his knowledge, heritage, past, the glory of the past in future. He will just surrender to you and listen to you and do what you say as the right future. To enslave a civilization and kill a civilization, remove their confidence about their glorious past. Successfully, this poisoning is done to Hindu civilization. It is almost in intensive care unit, emergency care unit. The only good news is it is not dead. I am back to revive. I will not let it die. Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam gunakarma vibasaha tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. The four categories of Varna were created by me according to the people's qualities and activities. Although I am creator of this system, know me to be eternal and will come back again and again to keep this system alive. The only civilization still alive, not dead, from pre-Bronzean age is Hindu civilization, Varnashrama Dharma. And I'll be back again and again and again to keep this alive, giving confidence to people on this system is Hindu economic principle. For example, if a Brahmin does Agnihotra every day, teaches Vedas to the kids, not only he is given a regular salary by the king, all the punya he acquires, the merit he acquires by these sacred actions, not only he gets the Kailasa after death, he can encash his punya even as a usable currency like grains, gems, other items needed to run his life during the Ashwamedha Yajna, Putrakameshti Yajna, other major yajnas, yahas, rituals done by the king. Please understand. All the major yajnas done by the great kings in their kingdoms are dispersing the punya currency in Buloka, this world day-to-day usage currencies. Please understand this principle. This principle is going to be very important principle in Kailasa economy. I am going to revive this. If you serve any temple run as per Vedagamas, you get punya which you can use not only in Kailasa after you leave the body, you can encash them, withdraw as currency even for your day-to-day use, which can be in the form of grains, precious gems, precious metals, I mean what I am saying. This is the fundamental policy with which the Kailasa economic strategy and economic policies are getting evolved. Listen. Bringing legitimacy, economic legitimacy to all the religious actions, activities you perform. If you go around Arunachala, the Arunachala Purana describes you will get certain punya with which you can achieve and enjoy Kailasa. Not only you get that, you get even the country currency. You withdraw, you receive currency in the form of grains, clothes, other utilities, including precious metal, precious gems. The ritual happening where all this disbursement happens is yaga, yajnas conducted by the kings in those days. For example, when a Brahmin comes, the senior Vidvats, the senior Brahmins decide this person, this many years, is practicing all the Vedic rituals and teaching. So he gets this much of punya in Kailasa and this much of country currency. The Kailasa currency punya and country currency in the form of grains, precious metal, precious gems, clothes, whatever. This was a living economy of Hindu tradition and Hindu samsthanas, Hindu kingdoms. I am going to revive it. I will revive it with the grace of Ganapati, Paramashiva. All the gods and goddesses of Kailasa with their blessings. I will revive it. Same way, these principles are elaborately described in Vedas and Agamas. That is going to form the basic structure of Kailasa economic policies and strategies. Everyone is supported so beautifully. Nobody feels insecure to manipulate or exploit the economy. That is the most beautiful structure of Hindu economy. Understand, it is such tremendous, deep confidence building system, and so much of security was given. I tell you, I was studying thoroughly. Let me openly declare, all my last 26 years of life, after the Yoga Pattabhishekam, 1994, my gurus have put me on the throne by doing the Yoga Pattabhishekam. They put me on the seat. From that time, all my attempts, whatever I tried to do in Ramakrishna Mission as volunteer, brahmachari, sannyasi, I was volunteer brahmachari. Or after I started this Sangha, all my economic policies were trying to revive these principles of Hinduism. how we can give confidence to people on living enlightenment system, and how that can become not only the cosmic currency, even country currency. I was trying various trial and error methods, but I tell you, very confidently, with the grace of Paramashiva, I am successful in coming to a very balanced, clear policies and principles which will intensely give confidence and secured feeling to people, so they will be part of this whole Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitaha, protecting Dharma and letting Dharma protect us, empowering, protecting Dharma so powerfully, so that becomes a living energy to protect us. I received this knowledge of Hindu economic policies and principles directly from the blessings of my Guru Arunagiri Yogeshwara, directly from him, and then learnt the history, how it used to be a living reality from 230th Guru Maha Sannidhanam of Tondemandala Adinam, Sri Jnanapragasa Desika Paramacharya Swamigal. I wanted to put this on record. Forever he should be remembered as reviver of Hindu economic policies and principles. He taught me, he used to teach me how those days the samsthanas received tax and how they distributed salaries, gifts, awards, rewards. For example, Brahmana, when he performs something great, when he is high achiever, he is supported, gifted with all the things which strengthens his lifestyle. Same way, for example, a Kshatriya, when he performs something great and when he becomes high achiever, he is gifted with some things which strengthens his valor and his lifestyle and what is expected from him. For a successful society, he gets glory, name, fame, and many women decide to marry him. He is glorified in such a way, the society is enamored by his glory and valor. Same way, Vaishya, when he becomes a great, successful, high achiever, the kind of the glorification done to him is different. The glorification done to him supports him in his profession to achieve more success. A great, amazing, beautiful society was kept alive with the principle of enlightenment. I want to tell and thank all the people who contributing to this Kailasa by giving your time or treasure or talent. You are doing something absolutely good to yourself and to the world by supporting this huge cause. Understand? It is with extreme integrity, sincerity, a great possibility for human society is tested, tried, actually succeeded, and getting revived. Trial run is successful. I am not reformer, I am reviver. And in Hindu tradition, the two layer, the economic principle, one is the currency. Technically in Sanskrit, if I translate that concept, it's called grain-based currency, means just by possessing and owning, it has its own utility value, whether the grains or the precious metals, precious gems, by its own value, it has a value. There is no other regulatory body required to establish its value. By you owning and the way it is used, demanded in the society, healthy society, by this simple existence, it has value. Second, the regulatory body always made sure the principle of enlightenment was kept alive in all their regulatory principles. How and why gold should be precious metal? How and why? What gems will be considered as precious? Everything. The whole regulating mechanism was enlightenment centric. Understand? Rajaraja, for example, builds a huge temples. All of you need to know, it's not that he built only Tanjore temple. Please understand. He built large number of temples. Krishnadevaraya built large number of temples. I should say that all great known kings of Hinduism, whether Cambodia or Somanath or Chidambaram or Tanjore or Jagannath or Nepal or Sri Lanka, anywhere the Hindu civilization was prevalent. It was all temple-centric, temple-based, because that was the source of our knowledge, our economy, principles, systems and strategies. Temple building and sustenance was one of the most beautiful method to keep the economy current. Currency has value only as long as the current is kept alive. So the current is kept alive to keep the value of the currency through this large size temple building and running. I tell you, the concept of common debt is the story of Venkateshwara borrowing money from Kubera for his marriage and still repaying. It's a most beautiful story. If you understand that story, you will understand this concept of common debt. How beautifully, dharmically, the modern day concept of common debt is expressed in the story of Venkateshwara borrowing money from Kubera for his marriage and still repaying the loan. The glory of the temple of the capital of Hindu kingdoms was actually the way they attracted the citizens from all over the world and the way they kept their citizens motivated, inspired, integrated to the kingdom. Amazing spiritual enlightenment based nationalism, enlightenment based patriotism, enlightenment based economy. The enlightenment based nationalism and enlightenment based patriotism, enlightenment based economy, enlightenment based integrity, understand, even when you have a mood swings, confusions about your individual lifestyle and your individual balance sheet is not giving you confidence about life, but your understanding about the common goal, the concept of civilization, if that is alive, you will not become a traitor. You will continue to be integrated and raise, and you will realize and fit yourself, discovering yourself and how you fit yourself into the society, both. Understand? The every word I am uttering is the most beautiful principles of Hindu economic policies. See, these are the principles on which Hindu education happened and Hindu policy making happened. Hindu politics is run. Hindu administration is done. Hindu judiciary functioned. Hindu economic principles, strategies were evolved and kept alive. Hindu currency was kept current. The current of the Hindu currency was kept alive through this mechanism. This mechanism used to be stirring to keep the Hindu currency current. How in the modern day the governments do. Like, for example, this post-corona, how every government is trying to revive their economy through various plans, projects, policies, grants. So every year, the Hindu kingdoms used to conduct the rituals, festivals to trigger the economy, to revive the economy, to keep the currency current. Sometimes people are made to support the common pool. Sometimes the pool is taken out and shared with people, but it was all done in a very dharmic way to keep the signs of living enlightenment. Whether you are taxed or given grants, everything was based on enlightenment, Jivan Mukti, moksha based artha, moksha centric artha. Moksha is kept as the first priority in artha or dharma or kama. Just because we had few failures in few wars and lost the land due to traitors does not mean that our civilization principles are wrong. If you think just because we lost few wars and land due to traitors, the principles are wrong, you are a fool. Like how some of the fools are still believing, just if you are involved in voting alone during the election period once in 5 years, you can maintain Hindu civilization. No. A constant involvement and activism is required to keep the Hindu civilization alive and to revive the Hindu civilization. Unfortunately, even modern day Hindus strongly believe if you make the right decision on the voting day and vote, then it is all done. No. It is wrong. Everyday activism, involvement into the society is required to revive Hindu civilization and Hindu principles. I don't know when Hindus are going to wake up to this truth, but I will keep these truths alive at least in one corner of the world in the form of Kailasa. Kailasa is seed bank of Hinduism. Just like how Manu built a ship and kept all the best seeds alive to revive post-deluge, post-pralaya. Same way, I am building Kailasa and keeping all the seeds, the best things of Hinduism alive to revive the post-pralaya. Sambhavami yuke yuke. I will come again and do this work. I have come for this work and I will perform it. I will achieve it. To tell you honestly, I have done it. I just have to do further expansion. From year 1 AD to year 1700, Bharat contributed to about 30% of the known world's GDP for 1700 years. The recorded history, I am talking only from recorded history. If you go prehistory, India only, Bharat only had GDP. The concept of GDP did not exist in any other part of the world. The known world. The known organized civilization was Hindu civilization, most ancient and most continuous. Unfortunately, now even Hindus have started believing Hinduism is functional only for religious and enlightenment purposes. It is dysfunctional for politics or economic or social system or judiciary. Even Hindus are brainwashed. I tell you, oh Hindus, please wake up to the truth. We were, we are, we will be a functional system, legitimate functional system. Not just spiritually, religiously, even economically, judiciary, socially, politically, in every level, without compromising, altering, adulterating. You don't need reformers, you need revivers. Hindus, wake up. Our ancestors are intelligent enough. They were intelligent enough to evolve a system. We don't need reformers, we need revivers. I want this to be today's message. All Kailasians, spread to the whole world. Hindus need to be educated, told, blow the conch, Shankanatha. We need revivers, not reformers. Enough reformers have harmed Hinduism as much as anti-Hindus. We need revivers, not reformers. We need revivers, not reformers. We need revivers, not reformers. Reformers are as dangerous and as destructive, as negative to Hinduism as anti-Hindu elements, anti-Hindus, invaders. Reformers were just disguised invaders. Reformers are the traitors used by invaders to destroy Hinduism. So Hinduism needs revivers, not reformers. We are strong enough, powerful enough principally. The principles, Principal, principles, Principles, the principles of Hinduism only need to be revived, does not need to be reformed. Do the Jayagosha, Sankanada, Tirukkailaya Vadya, and tell the world Hinduism needs revivers, not reformers. The concept of DIVYA, Dana, Dravya, in Hinduism is clearly defined in Amarakosha. For Brahmanas, what is Dana? Wealth. For Vaishyas, what is Dana? Wealth. For Kshatriyas, what is Dana? Wealth. For Shudras, what is Dana? Wealth. Amarakosha's original verse. Dravyam viddam swapateyam ruktam ruktam danam vasuhu hiranyam dravinam dyumnam artaraihi vipava abhi. These are the definitions, forms the fundamental economic principles of Kailasa. Synonyms of the word dana: dravyam, material; vittam, currency, goods, which is goods battered also is considered as currency. As I said, the Hindu economy was grain based. By its own weight and possession, it is valuable. It does not need any central regulatory body to declare that this paper has this much of value. No. By just the possession of that semi-precious stone or a precious metal or precious stone or the current or the grain, or the grain or the precious metal, precious gems, by its possession, it brings value due to its utility and demand in the society. So that is vittam. Swapadeyam, owned, earned property. Riktam, inherited property. When you inherit a property, the intention of your ancestor tied, married to that property, that intention also you inherit. So, all inheritance in Hinduism is a will. So, you have to, as long as you maintain that will, you have right over the property. Understand? Whatever you inherit from the ancestors, you have to maintain their will. If not, you don't own that property anymore. This was the way the civilization was kept alive in Hindu tradition. Hindu father will work for the 7th generation of their children, and same way they will inculcate the lifestyle, knowledge, principles in their children. Unfortunately, now in the modern day, neither they keep wealth for the children nor they inculcate the Hindu values for the children. Both should be done. I want my followers, you keep wealth for your next generation and you inculcate these values, Hindu values, into your next generation. And the next generation also respects the riktam, inherited property, and the will of your ancestors, both. Ruktam, possessing and enjoying it, expanding it. Dhanam, money. Vasu, land. Hiranyam, gold. Dravinam, movable properties, which is useful. Dyumnam, power and strength. Power and strength means capacity to understand the principles of the economy and change the investments and keep yourself alive, current, and your currency current. Artha, the business concerns and work. Rai, riches. You should pronounce as Rai, riches. Vibhava, magnanimity, omnipresence and power. Understanding the omnipresence and capabilities of Dhanam and keeping your magnanimity to keep the omnipresence alive all over the world. For example, if you honor your commitments only, they will honor their commitments. That is what is magnanimity. So, Kavi Kalpa Druma gives the synonym of Dhanam as Dhanyam, means the grain-based economy, and all other principles as I described from Amarakosha now. These are going to be forming the fundamental principles for Hindu economic policies and strategies. Hindu will is absolutely different from the will legal paper used today for establishing inheritance. Understand? Hindu will is lifestyle based. If you are from the Varna of a Brahmana and you inherit your ancestors who were Brahmana by Varna, only if you follow the principles of Brahmana Varna, you have the right over that property. Same way, Kshatriya, Shudra, and Vaishya. The Hindu inheritance principles. Actually, I tell you, it is so juicy and delicious even to understand the Arthashastra and Hindu economic principles. Wow! What a brilliant ancestors we had. Tadanti bhumi dhanyam utpadayati. Dana is the earth that bears the fruits and seeds and that produces grains. These are definitions of Dhanam Dhanyam in Hindu tradition. Actually, if at all our next generation starts tasting the Hindu knowledge, Hindu economy principles, they will understand this is the most beautiful, delicious, brilliant. They will just fall in love with all these principles and simply the whole Hindu economy principles, everything will be revived. My job is only to make you taste the deliciousness of Hindu economy principles by reviving the Hindu Reserve Bank and Hindu currency. Hindu knowledge is capable enough to revive itself, resurrect itself, re-establish itself, reignite the passion in you and excite you again. And just if I share the knowledge and educate you, that's enough. That's all I am trying to do. I have so much more to share. So with this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhatvaita Saivam, the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva. Paramashivoham, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham, the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.